Hey everyone, Wanderbot here, and welcome back to Runers. So today we're going to be playing as the Elf, with the Priest of Thoros, and Mindspike. And the thing is, Elf is actually quickly becoming my kind of go-to class, just because of the sheer power it has, in terms of like all spells being effective. And I was actually, originally, I recorded like 2 minutes of this before I realized I didn't want to do what I was going to do. Originally, I was going to do a buff build using the minus 25% cooldown to all non-damaging spells, but the reality of the situation is, wow, we got an air rune right off the bat. That's good. The reality of the situation is, it's better if I don't do that, just because, while buffs are really nice, what we need, essentially, is that really good bouncing ultimate style spell, Supernova, and a couple other ones, because when it comes down to it, what we need as far as a build goes is some fairly, we need like Prismatic Devil, Flame Salvo. That zombie is getting faster. This is not all in my head, is it? Was that zombie that fast to begin with? I don't think so. Anyway, what we need is something long range, so Flame Salvo is a good one. Then we need something close range, Prismatic Devil. And then we need something that can take out large groups of enemies, Supernova. So essentially we need that run that we did maybe, what, 2 runs ago, give or take? Uh-oh. I should not stand still. Scratching my leg and it's like, nope. Went out for a very long walk today. My legs have been itchy. Specifically my kneecaps. I don't know. Something about walking in the fall weather just makes my legs itch for no reason whatsoever. Actually, hold on. I'm going to see if I can fix this. Okay, kneecaps are no longer nearly as itchy. Oh, shoot, there's a rat already. Well, whatever. Okay, and now my eyes itch. You know what? I'm just going to give up. I will be playing this Runers round in physical discomfort, and that'll just be the way things have to go. So we've got a floating brain somewhere. Not actually sure where it's like. Oh, there it is. Interesting. Can I? No. Okay. So, the floating brain effect does not actually count as a... this is a bit scary. The floating brain effect does not count as a debuff. It's a permanent feature-ish of the room I'm in. So, I cannot use... Uh-oh. Yeah, one thing I need to remember, never ever get close to fire mages, because they suddenly have great accuracy and shoot you. So I always have to keep kind of a distance, even though it's hard to get all the shots in. At the very least, we've got 2 hearts sitting around in the other area. This floating brain is just dodging. The problem with Mindspike, it's a good spell, but God, I'm just gonna take stupid amounts of damage. You know what? I'm just gonna really now. That was way too much effort. Okay, so we've got water, air, speed. And I was thinking about it, and one other good spell that would be really good, not Lights Nova. I mean, double lightning is always decent, but the problem is it's such short range, it's not what I want. Okay, so Powerbolt would be fantastic. I really hate using the controller to adjust everything, or to navigate these menus. Anyway, Scarlet Salvo, alright. Biting Echoes. What does Biting Echoes do? Oh. That's the one we want. We want double water, lightning. But the other one that I was thinking that would be great is actually for this run, if I can get my cursor to work. There we go, White Lightning. Because if I can get White Lightning working, we can reduce the cooldown, increase the duration, which is, you know, range, and then boost the damage. And especially if we've got Mindlessness running, that would be really good. And the other one was... oh, guess it's not one of these spells. Well, that's good. So, we want Fire, Light... we need 2 shock runes. One for Fire Shock, Light, one for Shock, Water. And between the 2 of those, if I can get them proper, then we'll be in a good position. Fortunately, I'm trying to think of... oh, +1 Earth Mage over there, and he's doing some crazy big Earth blasty type things that I need to be worried about. I mean, honestly, I need to be worried about great many things along the way here, but... getting stuck on the boxes. Honestly, I tried to go Mind Spike with this run, and honestly, while it's not going to sink the run specifically, there's a very good reason why I always seem to go Chaos Bolt. And it's not because I want to. It's because it's the only one. Well, it's unequivocally the best one, and there's only so much I can do from this perspective without, you know, just kind of gimping myself in favor of variety. And as much as I like variety, I really do also like the idea of winning. And generally, I will have to say, I prefer the idea of winning to variety, even if, you know, in this case, it does end up making it so I'm always starting with the exact same attack. I don't know, it's one of those, it's like, there's a reason why I don't use the Earth Spike ever. I like Droplet, but it ends up having, it's too slow. And you miss with that, it ends up being quite the penalty. Even this one is pretty slow. The Shock move isn't terrible, I have to say. But the problem is it's single target and really doesn't do that much damage, whereas Chaos Bolt shoots very fast, shoots wide arc so it can hit a large number of enemies. Nope. Don't want to get hit by the fireballs. Stuck on a bucket. I always get stuck on something. And I guess it's one of those where, again, the reason why I don't like this spell in comparison is surely because it's terrible at taking out things. It only does 2.5 damage. And as much as I like the strike through, I really do like the ability to kill things. So let's kind of quickly emergency go into the Runedex. Creatable spells discovered. We could do Waves of Discord. Not bad. Pressure Blast. It'll have to do. Because currently I don't need any of those other spells we've got available. And this is going to pretty much solve our problems. At least for a little while. Honestly, Pressure Blast is not the highest on my list anymore. Because if the blasts strike through actually did damage, then it would be insanely powerful. But as it stands, it doesn't, so it ends up being, you know, just a little bit less than what I'd like it to be, which is a shame. That said, it works perfectly for our purposes here, because it's got the AoE that Mind Spike doesn't have. It's got pretty fast attack speed. It's great for busting up everything, so I'm just going to grab the heart. We've got 2 double combiners, 3 speed runes, 1 entropy rune, 1 air rune, 1 water rune. So, we need 1 more water, 1 shock, and then we can get the bouncing, whatever it's called. Or, we need light and fire. And light, fire, shock to get white lightning. And, I mean, white lightning is not exactly the highest on my list, but I can still see it being a very solid accompaniment to what we've got. Because if I could have Prismatic Devil, White Lightning, Pressure Blast, it pretty much makes everything around us take damage and everything away from us take damage. And it's very good for clearing too. The only problem is we would run into issues with specific high health type enemies that require certain amounts of extra maneuvering and damage just to take on. So essentially well, there's our fire rune. We would essentially have to worry about the Fireborn Voidling, but more so, we'd have to worry about the Bombardier. Bombardier is terrifying. I may be developing some kind of complex as a result of the last couple run-ins with him. Oh, I saw a box over here. Let's bust it up, seeing as there's no reason why not to. Okay. I'm not sure if I need that heart, but I'm going to leave it anyway, because right now, especially because we're on intermediate mode, trying to maximize my hearts as, you know, my health pickups as much as possible is a solid plan. The nice thing is we do have really hefty knockback as a result of Pressure Blast, which is very useful. Okay, so there's an Earth Rune. Not sure if I needed it. Okay, so we do Entopic Body. Nope. Earthborn. Nope. Elementalism. Nope. Banshee Whale. Guess it's better than nothing. Honestly, all of those were pretty freaking awful. Hopefully our luck improves, because honestly, if those are going to be our choices for the rest of the run, I'm just going to say we're pretty much sunk. Okay, so we're kind of in a good-bad position here, because we have enough knockback, a la Pressure Blast, to potentially, fill some of these vortexes without having to put ourselves in particularly terrible positions. Unfortunately, I need to get behind this one, and oh, they screwed it up on me. Freaking bats and everything. Seriously though, I'd totally be okay with this challenge if it wasn't for the time limit. I'm gonna try and get it behind the box. And it's not working, so actually what I'll probably have to do, finish nuking him, and then get in here myself, and, oh shoot, it's a mind mage. Of all of the enemies to run into, I was hoping that I could just hide behind the box for a little bit. Screw this, I'm not gonna be able to get it. Come on, come on, come on, no! Pressure blast! God damn it. Oh well, I ended up taking a large amount of damage for nothing. Seriously, nothing. Oh well, and that was a level 1 challenge. Seriously though, Mind Spike was probably a poor choice to bring into that room. I mean, it was definitely a poor choice to bring into that room. It's worthless, and as much as Pressure Blast has crazy knockback, it can potentially knock things towards you, which does kind of counteract the whole business. Okay, so we got a Hermit, but I will say, guys, I'm sorry. I know a lot of you like to see variety in things, but I think after this, especially as we get up in the difficulty levels, I really am just going to rely on Chaos Bolt as our starting spell. Just because that spell, no matter what, is pretty much viable up until Tier 2, at which point you have to switch it out. But even then, 4 damage per hit is pretty solid. So we've got 3 health pickups. I'm not sure why I went that direction. I guess I was just thinking of going up. But we have at least 3 health pickups, which means we're probably going to leave this floor full health. We still have one more room to go into, and especially since we're so early on, it's absolutely necessary that we visit it. Hey, at the very least we can use the Banshee... Oh. Oh, this is bad. This is real bad. Oh man. Oh, that isn't abusable in the slightest. I say with a smile on my face and a sarcastic grin. I guess they're technically the same thing. But sorry for the maniacal laughter. It's just sometimes when I run into something that's just hideously abusable, I have to appreciate it. And so in this case, knockback a la mode. Oh, apparently you can't knock back burrowers. Good to know. Good to know. I guess it kind of makes sense. They're kind of undergroundish. Don't want to get smacked or ruined. Okay, so we want to take out the speed mages. I'm noticing a lot of enemies have more health in intermediate. That might actually be one of the major differences between, you know, now and then. But, okay, so how does this work exactly? Well, the class ability, the Thalos or the Thalanos, I don't know. It only works if you have a debuff. If you don't have a debuff, it doesn't go. So, if you don't have a debuff, the class ability can still be used, but it goes through a check and it's like, oh, you don't currently have any debuff, so there's no reason for this spell to be cast. So it goes through kind of an internal cancellation. Thing is, Banshee's Wail procs before then. Okay. I feel bad for cheating, but there's another class perk. There's another trait that I could potentially get that's going to make everything stupid. And if I get it, I get it, and if I don't get it, I don't get it. So, crit damage, bullet speed, light rune. Bullet speed is tempting. Max HP is the most tempting. The light rune would be really nice, because that would let us potentially get white lightning early. But at the same time, it seems irresponsible to go for that. Bullet speed could be potentially useful too, but survivability is probably the most, because the higher health we have going down, the better off we're going to be. I'd love to get the, 50 kills, get 2 hit points. Because especially so early on, that ends up being a factor of, 20, 30 hit points, kind of depending on how many enemies you kill. It's not exactly something I ever paid attention to, but that's just kind of my bullshit math that I'm going to work around with here. So, Portal Protector, I'm going to come back for this one. So, realistically, we are in a really unique position of we can cheat. And it's rare in a game that you can use a glitch in this way to cheat so hard. And I'm going to largely be completely unremorseful about this for the time being. Mainly because I would like to use it as a tactic. And I mean, okay, so it's one of those where it's like, I don't like abusing the system too much, especially if, say, you can go, like, invincible or whatnot. But in this case, this is a bug that probably will get fixed fairly soon. I mean, it might not get fixed if I don't tell the developers about it. But if I don't, somebody else will, and eventually everybody will be like, Wanderbots a stinking cheater, and he knows how to abuse the system in horrible ways. So, I would much rather be largely moral, or at least abuse it once, and then I'll report it maybe in a couple days just to give you guys a chance to try it out if you so wish. But so, I mentioned there was another trait that you can potentially get, and that is, hey, we get a triple combiner, that's cool. You know that one where you use your class ability and it reduces all your other cooldowns? I could potentially use that to have infinite upkeep on all of my spells, or, you know, almost instantaneous cooldown. So, Supernova. Just click it like 8 times and bingo bango bongo, you have the spell. Actually, I might even be able to get Supernova at this point. I can't really remember what all the, not all enemies are knocked back by Banshee Whale. Good to know. Okay, so we do have to worry about the Earth Mages a little bit, but it's mostly, not the slimes, mostly the bandit we want to take out. There we go. Got the bandit, everybody else dies, and looks like we get a fair amount of health for all of this too. Beautiful. Okay, so. Yeah, this way I can use and abuse the knockback to keep a lot of people off of me. And yes, I may be using and abusing it a little bit too hard, but at the same time, I don't know, it's like an extra spell. It's a very short cooldown, super knockback ability. I'm trying to hit the bandit. There we go. Oh, God, that was hard. Even with the cheating. But that's kind of intermediate for you. Also, you know, at least a +1 enemy and wind hunters. Mostly wind hunters. They're kind of jerks. I'm just gonna try and hit these guys. Okay, this isn't working. That's kind of working. Unfortunately, our spells are not exactly suited for all of this business. Hey, there's the shock rune. Do we have a light rune? The answer is no, but we do have enough that we can get the bouncy move. So, we don't have the cooldown reduction yet, but we can get the first of our ultimates, no problem. So, Biting Echoes. Next up, what's Supernova? Oh, shoot, we need light runes. We need multiple light runes and shock runes and stuff. Oh, well. I could also use Buster Bang. Oh, hey, that's how much health I have. I can't believe I never actually looked at that. Well, go figure you'd start with 100 health. Anyway, so. Oh, that's interesting. So the cooldown on Mind Spike, the global cooldown, is enough to mess with Pressure Blast, so Pressure Blast can't fire as much as it does. That's fascinating. Okay, anyway. Runedex. Creatable spells. Undiscovered. What can we make? We don't have a whole lot of use for air runes. We can pump it into Pressure Blast, admittedly. We need Earth. Air, speed, or... Yeah, air, speed. Air, speed. What's this make? Oh, air, speed. Mega Pressure. Creates a moving vacuum that does damage to enemies inside of it. Ooh, wow. That's going to be fun. Also, interestingly enough, it has the exact same sprite, or icon, as Pressure Blast, just a little bit lighter and flipped around. Kind of lazy. Oh well, not a big deal. So we can boost the damage Pressure Blast, and... Oh. Nuts. It's not Pressure Blast doing it, that's the other spell. Well, that's kind of a shame. So what we have here is a cool cast zone ability. And I'm not going to be able to use it as much as I want. Hey, there we go. We get another lightning type spell, which is convenient. I'm going to have to take this one off the bar just because I find it hideously distracting to have anything on my bar, or anything on my bar that creates those casting circles, just because there's no good way for me to... Hello, we get a pair of light runes. So I'm going to have to turn on Mind Spike again. Unfortunately, we have no good way of taking on the bat or anything else. Because Pressure Blast is not melee range, so I need to keep a distance, but the burrowers and stuff... Oh, God. Okay, so what we're going to do is take the emergency measures. Goodbye, Mega Pressure. You're an interesting idea that I can't use right now. And let's make sure that these are the correct runes. Yep, they look correct enough. I know I just did this build like the other day, but at the same time, right now I'm desperate. And honestly, I really would like to try the crazy cooldown reduction mode. Because what if I can potentially get the cheap-ass rune of winning, let's go with Elemental Mastery, probably. I'm not going to be using that much Earth, because the other ones are equally worthless. Seriously, the perks I'm getting here are terrible. And I say perk because I really mean trait. I've been playing Killing Floor, and it uses similar terminology. Anyway, screw you, Swarmers. No one liked you anyway. So, we have really solid burst damage. Go figure. And unfortunately, we have awful close range damage. What we need is, quite realistically, what we need is a another entropy rune. Because if I had that, at the very least, we would be able to Wrecking Ball into things as well. Combo that with the knockback for anything that's potentially threatening, and makes a pretty good combo. The other thing is, of course, White Lightning, but what I need is a shock for that. Trying to remember if that involved fire or not. I don't remember. I've already forgotten. Well, either way. So I could put fire runes into Supernova, but right now I'm just going to kind of abstain from that. I don't need it immediately. Hello. Oh, this is convenient enough. We are getting a lot of health from this entire sequence, which is good. Oh, well, there's some health. And I also need to keep in mind that I do have... Fire Shock, Light... I need to keep in mind that I actually don't know what I'm talking about. Whatever, I'm just going to be using my, like, super ultimates all over the place, because eventually I'll get that trait, I hope. It'd be pretty embarrassing if I didn't. But, other spells that I could go with is, like, Flame Salvo, but that largely requires the same stuff. Honestly, at this point, the linchpin is, as far as I can tell, a Shock rune. And the problem with White Lightning is... Okay, there are no runes in here. Problem with White Lightning is White Lightning does not break Destructibles from what I can remember. Let's just take them on, get the bouncy going. Because, honestly, the more of these, like, powerful spells I've got going on, especially if I can get the easily abused skill, then, well, we'll just be mashing right stick as though we're an autocast, and if it came down to it, I would actually go for multiple supernovas in favor of having, you know, legitimate attacks, surely because I have no morals, or at least no standards. I don't know. So we've got a lot of health sticking around, which I'm very happy about, because that means we can go over and do this event room, which is Portal Protector, and oh yeah. Okay, we're pretty much in the best position for Portal Protector. Our auto attacks are awful, but we do have two very solid clearing moves. Well, let's just hope that I can hit the imps enough that they're not a problem. Hello. But the other thing is, we do have super insane... We have super insane knockback to the point where nothing can get close to the portal anyway. I feel... Damn it. Well, now I just feel stupid. So anyway, we can get Arcane Guardian, Grizzly... Ooh, Grizzly Intellect is tempting, but... Okay, so I like the idea of Grizzly Intellect. just so even faster cooldowns. But at the same time, that's not what we're going for here. I want to go for Scavenger, just so we can get the necessary combos, because we have a lot of combos I want to make, and they involve a lot of runes. So I didn't take any damage there. I really, really want to replace our auto attacks. They have screwed us over on 2 event rooms thus far, and that's not a good thing. And, I mean, some of that is my fault for cheating, but at the same time. So I could go with Mind Levels, which is very tempting, because eventually I'm going to be getting Mindlessness. But let's just keep buffing up our max HP. We're getting lots of HP drops, and if I can use that to some level of great degree, that'll put us in a good position. So, let's go down. Which one is this one? Spirit Wrangler. Screw that. No way I'm going to be able to do that like I am now. I really need, like, Prismatic Devil of some sort, simply to be able to take out that guy. Yeah, our auto attacks are holding us back real hard, and honestly, I probably should have prioritized getting White Lightning over Supernova and the bouncy move, but at the same time, both of those are going to do better at clearing rooms for us, because they do come back actually fairly quickly, even regardless of cheating. Let's just send that off, let that clear the way for us, and then whenever we get close to a large group of enemies, we can Supernova and take them out the rest of the way. Perfect. A little bit of enemies, a little bit of things here and there, but honestly, good position to be in. Now, I'm trying to remember. This also wouldn't be a bad time to break out Fusion. Double Fusion is not nearly as good as Quad Fusion, but at the same time, it's not bad. Let's see. Bust out the bouncies. Bust out the knockback, just to keep the imps off of our face. The one thing I'm noticing about Banshee's Wail is it looks like the the range is actually far shorter than the reality, which is kind of a shame. But again, not the end of the world. Let's just bust up Floating Brain. And unfortunately, Pressure Blast really does knock enemies towards me frequently enough too. So I have to be a little bit careful, just because I can keep the Floating Brain at a distance. I'm trying at least. The earlobe is starting to itch like crazy too, as is my shoulder. Freaking physiology getting in the way of Let's Playing. It sucks. Okay, anyway, we've got a couple of breakables. Seriously, I think Pressure Blast would be insanely powerful and useful if and only if it had some really solid... Ow. If it had a really effective strike through. Hey, there we go. We get Prismatic Devil, which solves part of our problem. We're probably still not going to be able to get the Wisp Defender yet, just because it's infinitely responding, and wrangling those guys is a pain in the ass. Honestly, I'm just... okay. I'm not sure why I'm waiting here. We're keeping Supernova. Entropy, Entropy, and Entropy. Oh, hey. Now, if I wanted to be really stupid, goodbye Mega Pressure. What I could do is just bank on the fact that we're going to get that cooldown reduction thing. And, I guess I'm just going to wait until after the boss, one way or another. Because we actually have enough runes in our inventory, I believe, to make a second Supernova. Also, interestingly enough, I'm firing faster this way. I really do not understand the whole cooldown, global cooldown system in this game. Oh well. So who are we fighting? Ah, it's the big skeleton. Well, I'm just going to kind of ring around the rosy with him, because the knockback does actually do quite a number on his face, or at least it keeps him at bay so his little sword attacks don't hit me. I do have to worry about everything else, though. But I don't think I can... Can I step on the mini skeletons? Nope, can't. Okay, that's a concern. Well, the other thing I can do is just fire off these. Probably could have been better timed. Why is Prismatic Devil... Okay, must have had some kind of cooldown reduction-y type thing. Or whatever. Okay, so I do have to worry about this a little bit, just because we're taking some damage and we don't have the distance to fight the big skeleton well. We do have 2 very powerful nukes. Note to self, don't get hit by that. It doesn't just slow you down. The little mines slow you down, but it's the other stuff that actually hurts you. Alright, let's fire off another bounty. And let that handle him. At least best as possible. The one problem is I'm trying to use pressure blast. So the problem with pressure blast is as awesome as it is, it's actually really bad on an auto attack slot if you want to use it in a more controlled fashion, because the moment you click it on, it just is like, oh, you want me to auto attack, and it's like, no, I don't. Oh, you want me to auto attack? No. Fighting with this game sometimes. I don't know. Okay, it looks like we have a number of really awesome combos that we can make. Let's see. Air. Dark, dark. That's probably the best combo we can go with. Because dark, dark, air. All three I'm generally not going to even be using. Creates a set of slow-moving clouds that creep across the room, dealing damage to enemies. It's got a really long cooldown, but it does cool stuff. Okay, goodbye, pressure blast. So at this point, I'm actually going... I'm going... Oh, that's the boss. Don't do that, Wander. That would be potentially really bad. Okay, so I'm going balls to the wall here. And this is probably a terrible idea. But it could work. I don't know. Because what could happen is we get the necessary shock rune, get white lightning, or even more so, get the thing that lets us get infinite cooldown reduction. Because, nope, thus far, no. Oh well, I'll just keep trying. We still have a couple of rooms left. I'd very much like to get any level of health. I don't think a single health pickup has procced this entire time. Uh-oh. That was potentially a terrible idea. Should have used things differently. Oh well, at the very least we get some amount of health. I must have. Just don't even... Oh, it's because I have cooldown. Oh. Well, that was a dumb move. Uh-oh. This puts us in a really bad spot. So, we at least get some health. The problem is, the build I've decided to go with here has some extremely glaring issues. Okay, so we can go with Grizzly Strength, Class Synergy. Wait. Aha! Here it is. Class Synergy. I think I might have actually had the option to do this earlier, but... I'm evil. Okay. Well. Do you guys see what I mean? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, in that case, this begs an interesting question. Wait, no, I can't do it anyway. I'm probably still gonna lose to something in the end, but... Oh, that's the one I wanted to use. What's the Dark Windy type spell? Don't think it even did anything. Oh. Oh, it does. It's just hard to see. So, what I would rather do is switch Dark Front over here. Now, I have half a mind to actually just take off Dark Front entirely. Oh, interesting. It's a localized buff. Instead of anything else. So I need to worry about my abilities a little bit. Oh, I also need to use the bouncy. Okay. Yeah, I need to worry about a good load of things. But at the same time, we are cheating so hard right now. And I don't have a whole lot of remorse. My frame rate does a little bit. Whenever I use all these abilities, it's just like... Okay, well, whatever. We are in a very unique position here. And what I think I'm going to do... I could actually have multiple supernovas. Because I could take Prismatic Devil completely off. Yeah, it's... Okay. This is probably one of the dumbest things I've ever done. Or at least the cheatiest thing. Okay, which one of these does... Okay, less damage. It's the... Actually, doesn't matter, does it? What's the range? 1414? Okay, so in that case, neither particularly worthwhile. I'm just going to pile them all into the one with the most amount of damage. Okay, because cooldown doesn't matter. Split factor matters, maybe. Doesn't really tell me. Okay, this is seriously horrifying. Okay, boss. Let's use our class ability. There we go. Oh, that's... Well, I might as well turn it on, right? It's got some kind of internalized cooldown. Or does it? The game might have discovered I'm cheating. Or maybe it's tied to my ultimates, or broke it. Controls. Okay. I just want to see. Active ability. Switch it to left trigger. Shoot left. Okay. Well, if this turns out to fail, then I'm going to have some interesting situations here. Oh well, who are we fighting? This actually might be one of the easiest. I'm trying to, well, right stick, right bumper, left bumper, left trigger. So I think I really do think I need Prismatic Devil on the bar for whatever reason. Oh well, I'll just wait for the left trigger, left bumper. Yeah, let's just go with the right trigger, I guess. Let the bouncies do some damage to him as we go along here. Okay, so now we got Prismatic Devil in the fray. There we go. I was wondering about it, and so I think the reality of this situation is the game knows enough about itself that you can't cheat all the time. Or at least, wow, that's a lot of bouncy stuff. Okay, so the reality of the situation, ooh, soul absorption, class specialization, high roller. Okay, I guess the other thing to be wary of, oh, it's got a very short cooldown to begin with. Oh, that's good to know. Okay, so the reality of this situation is, it's, what we're doing is cheap and extremely unfair, and extremely dangerous. Because if I get hit by a debuff, the entire strategy goes out the window, sort of.